It's lonely here in space to be stuck within the void. Your mind filled with everything and nothing at all. Floating endlessly with no set destination. My mind fills in the blanks through boundless imagination. So as I float onwards with no seeming end, let me tell you a story, please. Just let me pretend. War, a state of armed conflict between different countries or different groups within a country. That is what they claimed it was. But this wasn't war. It was simply genocide. The fires, the bloodshed, the tears, the millions of lives lost. And for what? A false sense of justice? For a false sense of peace? For a false sense of security? You captured our fairies, slaughtered our elves, murdered our pixies, captured and killed our mermaids, wiped out the nymphs and forced us out, the last few that remained. Are you satisfied? You drove us into hiding. We had to rebuild our entire lives as we mourned our losses. We had to learn how to make a barren and loveless land our home. It was hard. No matter how much time had passed, no matter how well we were doing for ourselves, no matter how hard we tried, we just simply couldn't shake the bitterness of having lost everything in the first place. As much as we tried to move on, we just couldn't forget the lives lost, all because of some greedy bastards. I couldn't shake the shame. I couldn't shake the regret. I couldn't shake the feeling of hopelessness. I'm the vampire king. Why wasn't I able to protect my people? I wallowed in self-loath and guilt every day, knowing that I could have and should have done better. Knowing that it was I, the vampire king, who was the one that failed my people. It was me. There was always a subtle feeling for the need for revenge, a feeling that I tried to ignore after already having lost so much, but it was a flame that was quickly set ablaze when the humans began to hunt my people for sport. Weren't they satisfied? Who the hell did they think they were? They already built a whole new world upon the corpses of my people. They have already destroyed all that there was, all that there would have been, and then forced out all that remained. We were already banished from our own lands. Our homes were already stolen and pummeled into the ground. We were left with nothing. How dare you? But I will destroy them. I will destroy their homes. I will destroy their people. I will destroy their hopes. And I will destroy their dreams. Vengeance is mine and mine alone. For I am the Vampire King. Oh, hello there. What can I get? The symphony of revenge has begun. There was a beauty in the pain that I brought on, a certain joy in the sweet justice that prevailed. But it just wasn't enough. I walked out of that building leaving a bloody mess, feeling completely unsatisfied. I had murdered a dozen human beings, but there wasn't a dent in their population at all. Their numbers were completely astounding, and I felt slightly overwhelmed. I sat there completely lost as to what my next move would be, and then it hit me. The humans were always going to just repopulate, so the best course of action was to destroy the future, their children. I successfully managed to get multiple bombs and dressed up as a nurse to get into the major childcare facilities. I remember there were some instances where I nearly got caught and I had managed to pay it off coolly. However, there was one particular instance where this lady just wouldn't leave me alone. She kept on insisting on some ID to prove that I actually belonged there. I of course couldn't prove that I belonged, so she got out her phone ready to call someone and I just killed her. I snapped her neck and hid her body in one of the cupboards in the room that was right next to us. As time transitioned from one day to the next, a new era began, and at the stroke of midnight, 48 childcare and birthing facilities exploded. But I didn't know how I'd feel. I thought I would have felt something, hope maybe, joy, relief, anguish, guilt, anger, hopelessness. I don't know. I thought I would felt something. I thought I would have felt anything, but all I felt was a sense of hollowness. I was numb. I sat perched up on the highest point of the city watching the buildings below explode like fireworks in the sky. I heard sirens bellowing below me. There were firefighters trying their best to stop the fires as quickly as possible. They did their best to try to minimize the damage, but it was pointless. The damage was done, and there was nothing they could do to help. I walked away from the sight below me and went back into the shadows that was my home. Instead of being greeted by the familiar sense of loneliness, I was met with a small group of my people. I was happy to see them, but they chastised me and rebuked my actions. While they thought that they ought to be avenged, they thought that what I did was wrong. They said that I never even gave the children a chance to prove themselves, that I had ruined too many innocent lives in the name of revenge, and that I was no better than the humans that ruined us in the first place. They said that all I was doing was putting all the faith that remained in danger. We were already on the brink of extinction, so I shouldn't play with fire when I have so little left and everything to lose. I tried to make them see reason, that what's the point of living if we are barely surviving? Our people are starving. We have no set home. We have no families and close ties. We have nothing, and yet they keep on kidnapping us. Our already dwindling population was constantly being captured, killed, ostracized. So the best course of action was to even the fields with the little of us that remained. But they were having none of that. They believed that if we were going to die out, that we should die out in the most peaceful way possible. They didn't want to spend their last days fighting in a war. I was baffled, honestly. I couldn't understand where they were coming from. We were always at war to me. To me, we were always fighting for our lives. And the problem is that we never fought back. At first, we didn't fight back because we thought they were weak and that we shouldn't beat down on the little man. But they wiped us out, and now we don't fight back because our numbers are so small. We're going to be dying anyways. So why are they so against fighting for the life you know that you deserve? Why not die fighting knowing that you are giving our future a chance to a better life? But I simply sat there. I was completely frozen in disbelief at their reasoning, and they ended up leaving when they felt like they couldn't get through to me. I cursed at them, knowing that I'd have to walk down this path alone with no support, no love, just bitter loneliness and a need for revenge. I planned to press on, but their words nagged my mind. I couldn't help but consider what they said as their absence became increasingly apparent in my life. I decided that before I continued down the path of destruction, I'd visit the elderly humans. I wanted to hear their perspective of the situation. Maybe I was the one that wasn't open to change. Maybe I could have handled the situation differently. Maybe I have gone too far. Maybe I was actually putting my people at an unnecessary risk. Maybe I was truly the problem. I wanted answers to my questions and I wanted to clear my doubts. So I snuck into a retirement home. And as I sat there quietly, putting my thoughts together, I was approached by an elderly man.